I'm Gina Barrett, a program director at the Consortium for Public Education. Today I'm here with George Ribich, a mobile unit engineer with NEP. George, thank you for being here today.
Hi, Gina. Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about where you are and what you do?
I am currently with NEP as a mobile unit engineer. So, what that means is that I'm one of the staff on site with mobile production units that make sure that a show goes well for our clients. And we have a lot of different networks that rent our trucks out and have contracts with us for everything Sunday night football to the Super Bowl to entertainment events. So basically, our engineers go on site, such as myself, and we make sure that the show goes well and there are no technical errors and fix anything that arises during the show, from cameras to switchers, routers, and anything in between, audio consoles, everything that is inside the truck. We kind of know a little bit about to be able to make sure the client is happy at the end of the show and they have a great show.
Could you tell us a little bit about the training that's provided by NEP?
Pretty much after you have some type of experience in broadcast or a post-secondary degree, a lot of what you'll do is you'll start out in the field shop, which is our facility where we have all of our equipment, most of our equipment housed that can't fit in the trucks or is extra that's needed for a show, such as cameras and fiber. Pretty much all of our equipment is housed at our Pittsburgh field shop. So you learn a lot about the equipment, about logistics and shipping, and how NEP operates as far as getting equipment to the shows it needs. And then what they'll have you do is move on to some more engineering. So you will do a lot of cable termination. So everything from camera cable, triacs to audio cable, XLRs, BNCs, all of the cables that are used, to make the connections to the truck and between equipment. You'll learn how to terminate pretty much every copper connector because we have a copper department. The next department is the fiber optic department, which is probably how we make a majority of connections nowadays in our industry. So what we do is we'll learn how to check for dirty fiber, how to read levels of loss and light levels, because everything that goes through fiber optic is lasers. So you have to learn how to check the fiber, how to clean it properly with alcohol, because it's very sensitive. You have to be very careful and delicate with it. So they teach you the process of cleaning, maintaining, and also a little bit of termination of fiber, because they like to do that in-house, because doing it in the field, it's not a clean environment. And then you go through our maintenance department, which is a lot of gear and equipment that comes back from shows, maintaining it, testing it. We have a whole test rack in our maintenance facility, and you can have everything you need there to test the gear, making sure it's working when it comes back for a show. So when we send it back out, we know it's good. So you spend a lot of time there understanding how the equipment works, setting it up in the shop, having the time where you're not under the pressure of a show to get it working. And then one of the final stages you go through is at our system integration facility. So what we do there is we actually build the trucks from, basically the trailer comes as an empty shell. And they're similar to what you would say like an RV or a camper, where the sides expand out and gives you more room, because again, at the end of the day, we have to get it back to 8 feet so it can travel on the road. So our in-house facility actually does the design, power systems, carpentry, welding, and fabrication and wiring and termination for all the gear in the truck. So that teaches you a lot about NEP's designing of trucks, kind of gets you right hands-on with a brand new truck. This is like one of the most important parts of the program, is when you're in our systems integration facility, because you really get the exposure from everything from how tough it is to actually get every connector in there, the deadlines, making sure everything is working with the system engineers who test every single cable and make sure everything is working before that truck leaves our facility. And you learn a lot about our design, how the truck actually works. So those are kind of the rules you go throughout the 2 years of your program.
I just want to make sure that everyone understands, when you're going through this, you are actually hired as an employee of NEP at the time. Is that correct?
That's correct. So you do work for NEP, and a lot of their trucks are built for our clients. The target of the program, the apprenticeship program, is to become a mobile unit engineer, such as myself. So you're traveling to site with the mobile units and, making sure that these clients have a good show and understanding every piece of the truck and kind of being that support line. So that's the end goal of this specific program.
And there is no charge for this. You're actually making money while you're going through this program because you're an employee.
That's correct. So it is a paid apprenticeship, and it's a very generous company. So they have a lot of different programs, and they work with you to make sure that when you get out on the road, that you are ready to deal with the pressure of a broadcast and understand the equipment. So when you get out there, you have a very good basis to start off of, and you're not just being thrown into it per se, baptized under fire and trying to figure all this stuff out when you get out there. You have a lot of very, very intelligent people who have been in the broadcast industry from the beginning, and understand and are there to help you. As long as you're there and willing to learn, there's no limit to what you can do, essentially.
What are some of the things that make someone a good candidate for a program like this?
This position, it is a lifestyle. So, you're going to have to be someone who's adventurous, want to do the traveling, want to see new places, work long hours. Another thing is someone who is an analytical thinker, so a troubleshooter, right? So when you have something that's broken, what do you do first? You have to look from source to destination. You have to be and look at each piece of the puzzle and keep your cool throughout that situation. Troubleshooting is key because that's why you're there. And also, being able to communicate, because, there are so many things, people that are in a production, that you have to be able to talk to everybody. So, there's an A1, and they're in charge of the entire audio for the show. You have your technical director, who is managing this, running the switcher and taking the cameras to air and putting on the graphics. So there's a lot of different positions. So you have to coordinate with all of them to make sure that they're all on the same page about what's happening for a show. So communication skills are also very key, especially, you have to communicate with your other engineers that you're working with when something's broken, because, sometimes you have to be out in the field working with them, and you have to accurately describe what's happening out there so they can help you too, or figure out what to do on the other end. So communication skills, I would say, are also very important to be a mobile unit engineer.
Interesting. I was wondering, just to wrap up, can you maybe talk for a second about something that would maybe make a student thrive in this program?
You would want to get as much hands-on experience as you can. You have a great camera on your phone nowadays. You could take this and you could go out and shoot whatever you want and make, get some experience doing that, put it together, find a free editing software or something and kind of learn what it is to produce, or do camera work, or, take some small equipment that you have at home and just get an interest for it. And then maybe when you do go to college, you'll have the chance to get into some of universities that have this type of equipment, and let you do the hands-on. But a lot of it is very important to actually be touching the gear, because it's like anything else. If you don't use it, you lose it, and you need to have that hands-on experience with it. And it also depends on what kind of learner you are. You're right. So that's why we have a lot of experts that'll walk you step by step through stuff if you're having a hard time, and let you get in there because they understand how it works to go in and break it so you can fix it again and learn why that happened. So, you just have to be you have to be willing to break stuff, and you have to be willing to ask a lot of questions, because they're going to be there, and never be worried to say, I don't know.
Sounds like good advice. Well, George, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Of course, it's a pleasure, and wish the best to anyone who wants to get into the industry.